hoppers over here. You know, we're seeing them more up here. I used to bag on them for never coming up here, but we're seeing more of them lately up here. Wonder what this is all about. 1, 2. Well, it doesn't, you know, you may see 4 cruisers and think, wow, there's something serious going on. No, they travel like that everywhere. There's a jaywalker, you get a dozen cop cars. Because I think they're all kind of together, like wherever they go and they disappear in the mornings, well, when the shift changes and they go to the police station up here, and they just kind of disappear. Yeah, I'm noticing something. I'm a noticer. I've been noticing this for a while, but I don't exactly know how to talk about it yet. I will, though. I will. Because I'm waiting for some information. I'm waiting for a bit of information. And I can talk about what I've been noticing in regards to security guards. In every store except for Ross, because they seem to have something done on internally, like they have their own kind of security. But there's something very similar about every single security person in just the regular stores. Not like the high-end stores. The high-end stores have guys with like in suits with guns and shit. Not like that. But like the ABCs or the stores in here, or just the regular retail stores. But I'm waiting for some information before I make my conclusions. But I'm pretty sure I know where it's going. Anyway, I woke up to see this on my Buddy Minutes of Horror's channel. There's a Bible quote for this. I forget what it is. And funny, oddly enough, I think Hanging Out with Stan posted the actual verse I'm thinking about. I think it's a Bible verse. It's something like that. Which kind of sums this up. It's like they'll want you to ignore your eyes and your senses. And that's what this whole thing, I've talked about this many times, where like they'll give you an empty glass and tell you it's full. And then you'll be like, what? No, there's nothing in this glass. And then they'll say, well, that's because you're alt-right. Okay. But this woman here that works for USA Today, this debunker, I did a little research on her. Not much, but a little. And it didn't take much for me to conclude that she's not a real person. It's just a picture and a name. You can email her. I did. I'm probably not going to get anything back. The only social media I found for her was her ex, Twitter, and she has like 15 followers. So it's just like a account they threw up for this fake person. I'm sure they do it for all their fake people. I mean, it's a newspaper. It's a newspaper. But what they're telling you is that you didn't see what you saw. I mean, there's footage of it everywhere. I have some. I have pictures of it. Of them pulling out the dirty mattress and all that stuff. And it's become, the dirty mattress has become a meme, you know, already. But as far as the bunkers are concerned, there was no mattress. You didn't see it. Even though you did. This is like Orwellian levels we haven't hit quite yet. These are new Orwellian 1984 levels. You know, I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to scrub the entire internet of all the footage and all the pictures, or are they just going to leave it all there and just say, no, there isn't anything there. You're not seeing that. It's fucking wild. It's wild that they'd go this way. I mean, you know, this is something you might do if you get caught cheating on your girlfriend or something. You're like, no, I didn't do it. I wasn't there. It's like, we have film of you there. I don't care. I wasn't there. This is a bit more serious than that, though. You know, this is it's just funny. Like, it's funny to me. But the thing is, like, what they hope to do, right? And it does, you know, they are right. It does work. If they keep saying something over and over again, despite not showing any evidence to back themselves up, if they keep saying it over and over again, eventually, you know, people are going to start repeating it. It's a perception thing. And then there are people that want that narrative. So what happens is when you see new articles made by other people, they can say, USA Today debunked this, and they can cite that article to grow a bunch of other articles pertaining to the same situation, and now they have something to cite. They've done that, they meaning the Satanists, and I think it's the best way to do is call them Satanists. Yeah, there are Jews, yeah, there are lizards, yeah, there are all these fucking things, but the one thing they have in common is they're Satanists. They work for Satan. They're doing his bidding here on the earth, So, yeah, I've seen this kind of thing before. It's just, it's so blatant and it's so soon. People are still doing videos and doing articles about, the dirty mattress and the high chair. And I mean, the focus was on the mattress, right? Mostly because unless you watch those videos of them going in the tunnels, you didn't even see the high chair. So I think USA Today, by pointing out the high chair, I mean, they're alerting more people to the fact that there was a high chair than would have known to begin with. So it's almost like they want to cover their bases. And if they find something else, or if something else is revealed down there, I doubt it, because that thing, they want to seal it up. Or they've already started sealing it up, like concreting it up. It's like, wouldn't you want that for evidence? I mean, I understand why they're doing it, but in a normal world with logic and reason, right? You'd want that for evidence. And the other thing too, it's like, hold on a second, let me just go in here. I'm walk through the mall a little bit. They have the authorities in their pocket for the most part, or for the whole part, but the arrests still puzzle me. Like, why were people arrested? Because of, did they like fight with the cops? Like, what was going on there? What it looked like to me is, and many others, it's like they roped off an area to have like some kind of meltdown for themselves, like a riot where they just jumped around and they did their satanic prayers and their satanic dances, and they petitioned Moloch with prayer. It's funny too, anytime I look at one of these things, I always go to comment something about Blood Bible, and everybody's already beat me to it. So it's being revealed. This is God. This is God. And even though these particular people put a lot of work into trying to deceive God, or try to, there's that thing where they have a string or a piece of pipe that runs around Lower Manhattan, and what this does is it makes it so that they can call it an indoor area, even though it's outdoors. They think by putting this pole up that runs through Manhattan, which has been cut before by people, not even some who don't even know what it is. They just do it for vandalism. Some people just like doing vandalism. You know who I'm talking about. But the Amish, of course, that they think they can trick God. Like, well, we'll put a string up in a pipe, run the whole length, and then we can say that's indoors, God. Because they want to keep doing business on the Sabbath. I think that's what it is. So by in their minds enclosing that, they trick God. There's a whole lot of stuff like that, especially in the Talmud. The Talmud is kind of like a lawyer's book for their religion. Like, you have their, what is their regular book for the religion? Not the Quran. I don't give a shit. Whatever stupid book they have for their dumb religion. And then they have the Talmud, which teaches them how to get out of all the stuff that they have in their religious book, like how to circumvent it all. There's some pretty crazy shit in there. If you've never checked out the Talmud, you don't have to read the whole thing. It's a fucking slog. I've tried. I can't. But a lot of people will give you the bullet points of it, as far as allowing sexual contact between them and children as long as they're under age 3. All this really weird stuff. But yeah, they've been doing this stuff for fucking forever. Since we've been recording time. It's part of their religion. These are religious rituals. Blood is called for, the blood of going children, which then goes so they can, They can put in their matzah for double dipping. Yeah, there's just a lot of that. I mean, it's just a lot of sacrifice, blood, because it's fucking Satanism, basically, you know? Blood sacrifice. And yeah, there's a lot of blood sacrifice in the Bible, too, and that's why I have problems with the Bible. Especially the Old Testament, when they describe God as a dragon, basically. He has a snout and a wingspan. It's like, what the fuck? But my friend Cheeto was, she made a point that the reason the God in the Old Testament is more, you know, inhuman is because he hadn't returned in human form yet, in the form of Jesus. So he didn't really understand a lot of things about humanity, and that's why he acted the way he did, and he was so haughty, and that's kind of a good point. You know, I don't know how much I think it's accurate, but she seems to think that's the reason, and I have to concede that it is a compelling argument. So anyway, I don't know. I just thought it was a funny thing to wake up to. I want to do something on, I just talk about briefly the vanishing truckers. That's another thing I saw. It was yesterday. There was a video with a couple of truckers who were talking about how they're vanishing. And they had someone do some remote viewing to try to find where some of them went to, and you know, this remote viewer was saying they're like, they could see them being tied up, like almost like they're being tortured or something, which, you know, kind of seems like it could be a possibility, right? But what that's all about is they're trying to break down the food chain. That's what all those derailments were about a year ago. That's what burning all those food storage things were about. That's what all the things that you see that are breaking down our food moving system is they're trying to just make it so that people start starving. The war on eggs, because eggs are high in protein, they do a lot of stuff for you that they don't want you to know about. So yeah, this whole vanishing truckers thing is, I think they got to a point where they were just like, we're just going to take these motherfuckers off the road, and that way this stuff can't get around. You know, they started years ago doing this, where they were giving farmers money to destroy their livestock and destroy some of their crops with some kind of incentive, and they were doing that. They were dumping their milk. Then they moved on to train derailments, and now they're just going around and just getting rid of truckers, like person by person. This one trucker lady was talking about how she was in the comments, I think. She stopped at a place, and this sort of well-dressed man that looked vaguely maybe Asian, he came up to her and was like, hey, may I talk to you for a moment, ma'am? And she just got all these really weird vibes from him. And she got away from him. But it's probably something like that. They lure them away with some kind of thing, like disguised as government people, and then they just go with them, and then they fucking take them. It's weird. It's weird. That's the point they're at now. Fucking just yanking truckers off the road. We're going to see more stuff like this. And again, like I always say, they're not doing this from a position of strength. If they had the strength, they wouldn't have to do this. It would just, things would be falling into place for them. But it's not working out for them at the speed they want it to work out. They want to get that Messiah's return. They want to build a third temple. That's why they're genociding all the Palestinian people. They're doing it too quick, and they're fucking up a lot. You know, not everyone can see that unless, you know, they really study this stuff or watch this stuff very closely. But they're making a lot of mistakes. It's not going to pan out anyway. I think the good result will happen long before their bad results can happen. At least that's just what I think. Who knows? Either way, this next year is going to be really... It's going to be so crazy. I mean, lately the way things have worked, right? And at least in 2023, some strange event will happen. Like, you know, the derailments from last year. Normally, if something like that happened, say, 10 years ago, it would still be in the media. People would be talking about it. But the problem is, so many of these type of things are happening one after another that things just get memory hold. Like already this, you know, you're not seeing a lot about the the Jewish tunnels are already, well, I mean, because they control the media anyway, but I mean, that's already kind of fading. It's going to be like that. 2024 is just going to be like, what? And then it's like, what is it? What? And what? It's going to be one thing after another, you know? Whatever. I'm here for it. We're here for it. I'll continue my end times correspondence reporting. And noticing. And van dodging. Got a lot of dogs on the fire. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.